Good afternoon, Year 8s. Today we're going to be making chocolate cupcakes. Sorry, I always get it wrong. You can put chocolate chips in there if you want to, but I think with just the cocoa it should be enough. Okay, I do have a class with me at the moment, which are my Year 8s. They may have a question and I might address them, but you won't be able to see them in the video. Okay. Right, let's start. So firstly, in a large bowl, you will need to measure. My measurements have already been done for me, okay? So everything's been weighed out by Miss already. But in a large bowl, you are going to be adding 200 grams of plain flour. So let's write this down in our ingredients. And we're going to sift this in, but just 200 grams of plain flour, okay? Now, what you need to do is put that straight into a sieve, okay, and just sift it through into the bowl. Now when you're sifting through, it creates two things. It creates air for the cake to be nice and soft and fluffy, okay, and also it gets rid of any debris in here. So maybe there's a bit of paper or an insect that we can't see, and you'll be able to see it at the end here, or lumps, okay. It gets rid of all those lumps as well. All right, so finished with that. Now I have 40 grams of cocoa powder. Now again, I will sift this into my dry mixture. This is a mixture called dry mixture because nothing is wet in here at the moment, okay? Put that straight into my sift, and again, just tapping gently on my other hand, sifting through that cocoa powder. Now, cocoa powder can be a bit lumpy sometimes, so with a spatula, you can just press it through, okay? I'm just going to check that it's plum flour. Just pressing that through to get rid of all those lumps, okay? Okay, that's finished, okay? 40 grams of cocoa powder. Okay, now everything that I don't need, I'll put it straight into the sink, okay? I'm going to use one bowl here just to lay my spatula onto, okay? Straight into the sink. Now, one more thing that I will need my sift for is my baking powder. I need 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Okay, tablespoon. Here are our measuring spoons, okay? We will provide these for you. You will just use 1 tablespoon, okay? Now you don't have it heaped, just have it level, okay, like this, levels. Put that straight through to the sieve. And again, tap, 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 and that will go straight through, okay? Now, putting my ingredients together, just giving it a little tap, okay? Just forming them together, perfect. Now, in here, what I need to put is my butter, okay? And what I need is 60 grams of soft butter. Not melted butter, but quite soft, okay? So if you need to put it into the microwave for 15 seconds, please do that to make it nice and soft. And even if it is runny, it's fine, okay? That goes straight into my bowl with my dry ingredients. Then I'm going to put this straight into the sink because of my health and safety. Anyone tell me a reason why I'd prefer to put it in the sink and not on the side? Yes? Yeah, that's a good answer. Anybody else for anything else? What if I was accidentally moving my arms around like this? What would happen? Yes?
You could accidentally knock it down.
Yeah, I could knock it down and we could have a smash on the floor with all glass everywhere. That's going to stop our progress of making our cakes, okay? So, thinking ahead, thinking about health and safety always, okay? Now, in here, I have sugar, okay? Now, could you please tell me how much sugar I need to use? 280 grams of sugar, okay? That goes straight into thank you, Pat. Straight into my bowl, okay? With my 1 wet ingredient, which is my butter, and the rest of my dry ingredients, okay? Straight into the sink again, always straight into the sink, okay? So while you guys are just catching up, I'm just going to prepare my wet liquid as well. So, in here, how much milk do we use, please? In here we have 240 millilitres of cold milk, okay? Now what I will do is I'm going to have 2 eggs, gentle but firm, little crack on the table, using 2 hands, Prizing them apart and putting this straight into the milk. Now I'm not going to do it up here because what's going to happen, the milk's going to splash up at me. Okay? I'm going to go quite low and drop the eggs inside. Now the reason I tap them on the table and not here is because I don't want any shell to go into my liquid, okay, or into my cakes. Now, gentle but firm tap, putting my thumbs in between the egg and placing that straight into my jug, straight into the dustbin. I'm not leaving it on the side anywhere, okay? We have to get, that habit needs to be changed, and by habits, for us to change habits, we need to start working on the new ones, okay? Keeping a clean area always. Putting it straight in my sink. Taking a tissue just to wipe my fingers. Okay. Now, most of everything that I had on my table is all gone now, okay? Because it's either in the sink or being used. Now, with a fork, I will give this a whisk. Now, I'm doing two things here. Can anybody tell me the two things that I'm doing? Anyone tell me yet? Yeah, and what does that create? What does that create? Anybody tell me? So we're mixing it together, which is one point, yeah? Aeration, excellent. Now I'm adding air in here. Now the more air I add in here, you'll get the nice sponge, okay, on your cakes. You know the light fluffy sponges, not the hard ones? This will become light and airy and fluffy. Giving that a quick whisk, okay? So as there'll be 3 of you working in a group, everybody can have their jobs. One person can maybe measure all the ingredients out. One person can start putting the ingredients together. So first will be the dry ingredients, okay? So you'd want to measure those ones first, always, okay? So you can start putting them to a large bowl and mixing it up. Somebody can start measuring the butter and melting that a little bit. Somebody can start with this wet mixture as well, okay? Perfect. That is nicely whisked all together. Moving that to the side for a moment. Now, with my spatula, I'm just going to give this a little mix up, okay? Just a really quick mix. Breaking the butter up a little bit. Okay. Now, with my electric hand whisk, okay? Now my blade, if you remember what I told you last time, my blade would always go to the bottom of the bowl, okay? So you can hear the little tap. Even when you're turning it off, we don't turn it off while it's here, we turn it off while it's down there. Okay, I'll show you that in a moment. Going to be a little bit noisy, but just please watch what I'm doing inside the bowl. I'll be moving my bowl gently, mixing all of these ingredients together, okay? Let's go. Sorry, because it is a dry mixture, it might go everywhere. So you want to contain it. You want to keep it on a low speed and you want to keep the blade down, okay? Slow circular motion, okay? Just mixing that all together. I'm moving my bowl at the same time to make sure I'm mixing it well. Taking it to the sides, my blade as well. Because it is dry ingredient, one wet ingredient only, I want to make sure that one, I'm not making too much mess, and two, that all those butter particles are nicely broken up and incorporated into my cake mixture, okay? Just moving any dry ingredients that I have, giving it a little tap so it comes off the side. Doing this again. Now take your time. It becomes like a breadcrumb consistency. If you had used your fingers, okay, this will become a breadcrumb consistency, but it takes a little bit longer. Because we are making cake, we want it finer than when we make short crust pastry, okay? So this is why we use the machine. And that is called, if anybody knows that when you're using that method, where you have the flour and the butter, does anybody know that method, what it's called? Remember it, yeah? Well done, rubbing in method. That's it. So we're going to carry on. We're going to carry on with mixing this. On a low speed. Please don't be tempted to put it on full speed. What will happen if I put it on full speed? Anybody give me an explanation? Yes.
It could go everywhere.
Everywhere, and all over you as well, okay? So that means more work for you. So we're not looking to do that. When you're putting the machine down, the hand whisk, we use this base here, okay? That's fine. Now, ready for my wet mixture. Now, pouring that into the middle. I made a little well, okay? Straight into the, anyone tell me where this goes?
Sink.
Excellent. Straight into my sink. Tidying as we're going along. Now my surface is a little bit messy, but I can wait for a moment to clean that, okay? Now, just giving that a little tap again, or with my spatula, just bringing it above. My dry mixture above the wet mixture. Now, slow speed again, okay? Make sure it's at the bottom. Number 1. Okay. Mixing all that up. Now you're probably thinking, oh, this is really runny, okay? But I promise you, the cake consistency will be amazing, okay? Exactly what you want it to be in a chocolate cake. And it's getting thicker, where all the mixture is mixing up together well. Sorry, it's a little bit noisy. I'm going to stop. When I lift my blades now, gently, I'm going to lift just above the wet ingredients, okay? And then I will turn it off. The reason I do that is because I want to make sure all of my mixture is off my blades, okay? So really slowly lifting it there, just above my mixture, and stopping it. My blades are clean, okay? So all of that extra will be in there. If I've just turned it off here and I pick it up, I've got all that on there, okay? So you're best off not wasting that, because there's probably half a cupcake there. In there. Gently lifting it. As you can see, it's splattering around, but just in the bowl. That's okay if it's in the bowl. That's where we want to contain it. Bring it down for a moment, taking my spatula, making sure all of my ingredients are incorporating well, okay? Are we okay over there, guys? All right. Let's keep steady, yeah? Well done. Okay. Nearly done. One more whisk because I've just taken it off the sides, all the other ingredients, okay? Giving it a good whisk. And this has gone thick already. Alright. Lifting it up. And we're done. Now my bowl is going to help me to put my blades. You press the top button, blades come off, and you're going to move the machine to the side, okay? Now what I will do, I'm going to clean my surface really quickly. So you take your dishcloth, okay? Take your dishcloth, not your tea towel, and you just wipe away all the mess, okay? Because when you come to disinfect it, it'll be a little bit easier. We can wash that in a moment. What I will need from my sink is going back to my jug. Okay? Put this straight into the sink. Now, what I will do is I will pour my mixture into the jug. Now, being gentle, maybe 2 of you can do this, 1 of you can hold the bowl. Okay? And while you're using your spatula to put it in to the jug. One of you are holding and one of you are using the spatula, it might make it easier, okay? Using my spatula because I will need this again, okay? And Mrs. kindly putting our cases into our muffin tray. They are going to be a little bit large, so what I would say to you is buy the larger cupcake cases, okay? They can be deemed as muffin cases as well, all right? So now gently, slowly, I've got a little bit of milk in this, I'm just going to mix that up, okay? I'm going to pour my mixture into my cases. Now I want to fill this only 3/4 of the way. Make sure you write this down. We're only filling the cases 3/4 of the way, okay? Slowly, take your time. Watch where 3/4 is. If you pour in really quickly, it'll be harder to gauge, okay? Okay, now that's 3/4. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to move it over. I use my spatula to swipe it across because if I get it in the middle, I'm wasting my ingredients, okay? So I want to try and just contain it. Now, coaxing my The reason I use a spatula to coax it and not just pour it is because when you pour it, more comes out, okay? Three-quarters of a way and stop. Okay, carry on. Making sure you're concentrating when you're doing this task. As you can see, my eyes are here because I want to make sure, one, I'm not wasting any ingredients, and I'm trying to make my job a little bit easier for me as well, okay? By concentrating on your task. Okay, now you will all have an opportunity to do this as well. If you all make 4 each. Take most of it out. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to add some more of this mixture into the jug. Now I think I can fit all of it in now. Now I want to get all of that mixture. So I use my spatula, I use the curved side of it, hold it with one hand stable, and then go around the bowl and you take all of those ingredients, okay? So we're not wasting anything, there's no food wastage, okay? So we're getting the best out of our cakes. Okay, ready to pour again? Slowly but surely, guys, okay? It's about control when you're doing this, okay? To make sure that you're getting it all into the cupcake case. Using that spatula as well to get as much ingredients as you can out the jug. Okay, now I've got a little bit left and I can use another tray in a moment, but I'm just going to use my eyes, okay, and I'm going to just see if there's any spillages. I'm going to pick them up with my finger, okay, and then I'm going to see, are they all the same? Do I need to put any more in anything else, okay? Or has one got less in there, one got too much? If it's got too much, maybe we can use a spoon and we can scoop it out, okay? But this looks like it's okay, all right? Looks like it's equal amounts in here as well. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to place these into the oven on 180 degrees for 20 minutes, okay? And then you'll have, halfway through, you will turn your tray, all right? To get the best tasting chocolate cupcakes, all right? And if you wanted to make this into a cake, you could put them into actual bigger tins, okay? Where you can make a sandwich cake. But whichever way you want to do, this is the batter for your cupcakes here, all right? Your chocolate cupcakes. All right, so I will send you a picture of the finished product. Okay, thank you for watching.